This is my Facebook 4K 350Z and I've done quite some stuff to it. I put on some baller S body kits, made my brother put on a wing with me, and also did some maintenance. And today we're gonna put a big thick sway bar in the Bear Lady. You guys might ask, why do you want a sway bar? When a car turns, usually the car will tilt towards the outside of the turning. By installing a more solid and less flexible sway bar, you will allow the two wheels to balance out the force, and thus they will stick more to the ground instead of tilting toward one side. Let me show you how it is on my car right now. Yep, right here, you can see my car when turning. It's very much tilted to the outside of the turning, and you can see the car is basically slanted. More force is exerted on the outside wheel, and thus the car feels like it's slanted and less firm. And let me also show you the second problem. See that shaking just now? That's called wheel hopping. Wheel hopping occurs when there's too much weight transferred to the front and the rear just basically lifted off the ground. By putting on a thicker sway bar, we can force the back wheels to stay at the same level, which means it'll stick to the ground and avoid hopping as well. To counter this, the cheapest way is actually getting a sway bar instead of getting a whole suspension like coilover and everything. Usually when putting sway bar, people do put a whole set, but luckily Facebook Marketplace blessed us with this listing. If you guys don't know, Whiteline is one of the best sway bar or suspension part company in the car community. By no means I'm sponsored by them. I got no partnership in this YouTube channel at all. But if you look at the price, the rear sway bar itself is like $280 and the adjustable end links are like another $200. With shipping and tax, it goes up to like $550. I ain't got no money, so I took the long game. I waited 2 weeks and then messaged the seller again on New Year Day saying, "Happy birthday, can you do 200? And luckily he said yes, so I went there and picked it up. Usually people would say you either put on a whole set or just put on a front sway bar, but I did consult people from Whiteline. They straight up told me if I'm just putting on one, it has to be the rear. So guys, trust me.
The next day.
First thing first, let's check up the car. So we're gonna start by checking up the car. Now, if you're like me and you're not exactly a seasoned mechanic, make sure you don't do this with your just-in-case jack from Walmart, alright? Get a legit jack, safety first, even if you're pretending to be a professional.
Money!
So this bar is the rear sway bar. So here's the end link, the sway bar, all the way here, above the exhaust, and here. The sway bar end link right here. So we got two nuts here, one here and one back there. And then there's the sway bar bracket, which is covered by this piece of plastic. And so we got a few nuts to take off this plastic cover and then take off the end link. And same for the other side, and this should come off pretty easily. Now we get to the fun part, removing this stock sway bar. We might have to get a little bit aggressive with it, kinda like trying to get your buddy to pay you back for that pizza from last week, you know? Guys, I know, sway bar doesn't exactly scream, "I'm about to break some lab records." But trust me, it's like adding a performance cheat code on a budget. So this is what we're replacing. This flimsy piece of metal is barely doing anything. Gotta take out this beta piece of metal and put our big thick outer thing in her.
Money!
Alright, after directly taking it out, we can compare both the OEM and the Whiteline ones. The biggest difference here is that we have adjustable end links now, meaning the length of the end link here can be adjusted, so they can be longer or shorter for whatever purpose you have. Second, it's also way cooler, it's gold. The overall sway bar shaping is basically the same shape because you know it's for this car. I know THICC actually has one that has two humps for dual exhaust. First impression, this is way heavier. Although they're the same shape and size, the Whiteline one might be 3 times the weight or the mass of the OEM one. On top of that, you can see Whiteline actually had 3 holes here instead of 1.
You have 3 holes down there?
It's more option. This one can be down there, this one can be back there, and this one can be the mouth instead of just down there. If you're furthest away from the pulling point, you get more pivot. So your car actually is gonna be softer, but if you're more in, basically you need to use more force to move it around, so it's extra stiff. I'm actually gonna start in the middle because it's not like a 1-to-1. This is actually way heavier. So I think middle is pretty good for like weekend spirited driving. To be honest, there's not much to do. The only thing I really need to do is to make sure the end link are kinda at the right length to begin with. Pretty much the same length is fine because we're not like, you know, crazy alignment people. So this should be alright for now. We do have to use old hardware, so this one doesn't go all the way down that it came with. Use the old nut. Okay, now it should be just as simple as throwing this back in the car. Shouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't be too hard. I don't want to jinx anything. So I put in the end link. This is not completely tightened yet. I put in a sway bar bracket. Same thing, I put in a sway bar bracket and put in the end link. Now we adjust the preload, which I believe the concept is when the wheel touches the ground, it provides 0 preload, which means like this whole thing is at the right pressure. So what I'm gonna do is put this on a ramp and it's on the floor, so it's tall enough for me to tighten everything, and it's also touching the ground.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand.
So right now what you want to do is hold the middle orange piece intact and then tighten the 2 lock nuts on the side. Alright folks, we've got the white line sway bar in place, time to test it. But first, let's lower this beast and see if all our work pay off. Or I just spent 30 minutes for absolutely nothing. Alright, let's test out if the sway bar is good to drive or not. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. This feels way tighter. Handling is crisp, body roll is practically gone. Feels like a completely different car. Hell yeah, car seems pretty drivable. Let's go have fun. It's kind of rainy today. Got my speed kits on. Let's get it. Am I tripping or Ghost is not making the on-energy drink version anymore? Anyway, I gotta pick the Face Clan, it's the best one. A little bit of gas. Let's get it ripping. I was just bored scrolling on Instagram and saw this post. It's a student from UCSD car meet. It's pretty insane. I want to see how rich students are nowadays and what car they can afford. So I just went to stop by and see how it is. Also, they got Miata on the poster. My car shouldn't be too bad.
Wow. Nice Z. Mind if I park here? Yeah.
Overall, the meet is pretty alright. I would say it's a pretty good job already. Unlike Sunday Cars and Coffees, I found this meet more relatable, although someone put up in an Aston Martin as a student, first year. Overall, this is my favorite car in the whole meet. This Mustang is clean as hell, baby. But yeah, baby, let's not waste more time. We came out for one reason, to test out our rear sway bar, to see if we can slide better in the rain, if we get more control of the car, and if it helps with all the problems we had before. So without further ado, let's get to work.
Money.
Yes, sir. Installing a sway bar is definitely it's like giving your car an espresso shot. It feels more awake, more agile. It's definitely way more energetic. Definitely like how it came out. If you guys are into handling and you want your car to be more planted in the corner, this is definitely the mod for you. But honestly, bro, I gotta pause the video right here because I gotta bring the last piece of chicken nugget to my dog. But if you guys like my video, please like and subscribe so more people can see it. I want to make more content soon. Probably planning to upload every 3 weeks from now on, so I can be like a little bit more aware of my budget. But yeah, if you guys like the video, definitely let me know in the comment section that you like the video. Oh, she got half a piece now. Here's my Instagram. If you guys want to DM me and talk about cars, 350Zs, anything, let me know. If you want to call me Lil Bro or like call my channel trash, it's up to you to DM me. See you guys next time. Peace.